Okay, good day and welcome. And we are going to try to read a daily news article. Daily news articles are the most popular lesson that I do online. Probably about 80% of students request to look at the daily news. So why are these articles and the arranged exercises good? Why is it a good lesson, and why is it a lesson that most students want? The answer is it is a reading passage, so you're reading. If you're reading together, you're also listening. If you are on a one-to-one lesson, you're also conversing, you're speaking to each other. You're also, depending on the articles that you are looking at, you're also widening your vocabulary. There's a list of vocabulary before each article with a definition and an example sentence. And most of the students like to look at these and repeat after me. Of course, some students skip that step and they move straight on to the article. And at the end, you can have a discussion about the article. So there's 3 points of view. There are also comprehension questions sometimes, and we can also look at the comprehension questions if you like. The platform I'm going to use is going to be in the link of this video. It's called the Daily News. It's open to be used free of charge to anyone in the world, I think. But I'll give you a link, and I'll also include the article at the end of the video. I'll do some screenshots of the article in case you have a problem accessing the material. So I'm just going to do a straight lesson now. It's not pre-recorded. I'm not going to add anything else to this direct recording that I'm doing. But I will put in some screenshots on the video later on. But basically, I'm just going to go right through, beginning to end now. Okay, so I looked, there's always a selection of daily news articles, and I was looking at one which caught my eye today, which is Europe's most popular music festivals. Okay, let's dive straight into this lesson. You are the student. You missed your normal lesson, and so you can catch up with me. Here we go. So the first thing is vocabulary. So let's look at the vocabulary first. The first word is festival. An organised series of film screenings, concerts, etc. happening at the same time every year. And the example sentence, I'd love to attend the Cannes Film Festival someday. You can repeat after me, you can stop the video in order to say it in your own time. Of course, a lot of this vocabulary you may well know already, in which case just skip forward to the article. The next one, contemporary, belonging to or happening in the present time. The Shard in London, designed by Renzo Piano, is an example of contemporary architecture. Electronic, of music being made with computers or electronic instruments. I've always been a fan of electronic music, but I enjoy slower acoustic songs too. Perform, to entertain or present something to an audience. I was lucky enough to see Leonard Cohen perform a few years before he died. Sell out, to sell all available items, tickets, etc. The store has a sale on, but almost everything is already sold out. Protest, an organised public gathering in which people show that they disagree with a policy, law, etc. Protests erupted across the US after George Floyd was killed by a police officer in Minneapolis. Okay, let's move on to the article, which is exercise 2 here. Europe's most popular Let me start again. Europe's most popular music festivals. While most people think of beaches and sunshine when they think of summer, others look forward to something else: music festivals. And in Europe, there are many to choose from. Here are some of the most popular ones. Glastonbury Festival, UK. Glastonbury Festival is a 5-day contemporary music festival at Worthy Farm in Somerset, England. It usually takes place over the last weekend of June. About 1,500 people went to the first festival in September 1970. Tickets cost just over £2, £2 actually, and included free milk and food from the farm. Some of the world's top musicians have performed at Glastonbury, including David Bowie, Metallica and the Rolling Stones. Tickets now cost around $420, of course it's pounds in the UK, and the festival welcomes over 200,000 people. Tomorrowland, Belgium. Tomorrowland has only been around since 2005, but it's already one of the world's biggest festivals for electronic dance music. It has won several awards, and David Guetta, Avicii and Hardwell are among the DJs that have performed there. Tomorrowland usually takes place over 2 weekends in July in the town of Boom, Belgium. In 2022, 600,000 people went, making it one of the largest music festivals in the world. Tickets start at around $320, but they aren't easy to get, often selling out in under an hour. Exit Festival, Serbia. With over 1,000 performers on its stages every year, Exit Festival in Novi Sad, Serbia is another European favourite. But it wasn't always about music. Exit was started by students in 2000 as a protest against Slobodan Milosevic's government. The following year, the festival took place again, this time in celebration that Milosevic was no longer in power. The festival has taken place almost every year since then, with about 200,000 festival goers each year. Tickets start at around $130 for the 4-day event. Okay, there are some comprehension questions here. I'm just going to ask the question and then give the answer. How much did tickets for Glastonbury Festival cost in 1970? Tickets cost just over $2 and included free milk and food from the farm. Number 2. How many people attended Tomorrowland in 2022? In 2022, 600,000 people went, making it one of the largest music festivals in the world. Number 3. When was Exit Festival first held? Exit was started by students in 2000 as a protest against Slobodan Milosevic's government. Now we move on. Part 4. There is a discussion section here, and of course normally I would discuss with a student these different questions. Here there are 5 questions. Of course I don't have anyone to speak with. I could, if I wanted to, I could use an artificial intelligence and I could feed it the answer, which I may do later, but today this is a trial. I'll just give my own opinion, and if you're watching this lesson, perhaps you can stop the video and think about it and try to give your answer. You could write it down, put it in the comments. If I see it, I will definitely look at it and I'll respond to you. Is it accurate? I'll write back to you, I promise. So the first one, which of the festivals from the article would you like to attend? Well, I'm not a big concert fan myself because I don't really like crowds of people. But I think just for convenience, because I live in the UK, purely for convenience, I would go to Glastonbury, which is, I understand, a great festival. It goes on for several days. people stay in tents. Basically, it's not for me. I'm not comfortable in a tent. I don't like crowds of people. I do like some home comforts. I don't want to be eating sausage rolls and sandwiches for 5 days. And I wouldn't go for 5 days. So sorry if that sounds a little negative. I love music. I love music, and I love a lot of the acts that go to Glastonbury. My brother, he's just a little younger than me. He goes to it, but it's not for me. What about you? Have you ever been to any music festivals? If so, when and where? Okay, well, the one I can actually remember really well was Bob Dylan in Milan, and I saw him in Milan in, let me have a think, probably it was 1975, I think. And that was great, actually. That was really good. That was really good. He had a supporting act, and I think it was Joan Baez. That's right. Joan Baez was also with him on stage then. It was a great show. It was a great show. Are there any big music festivals in your country? Are the tickets expensive? Well, they're all over the country. In the UK, music festivals. They have them in London, in Hyde Park, I think, every year. And I think that's really convenient for London residents to be able to go there. Of course, there's a charge, and I think they are quite expensive. We have a great one down in my area. I live in the southwest, Plymouth, southwest England, and my daughter, who's 16, is going to, it's called Board Masters. And the reason it's called Board Masters is it's because it's based near Newquay on the north coast, which is the main surfing centre for surfers in the UK. So that's why they hold the concert there. It's a mecca for surfers and summer holiday makers, young summer holiday makers. So it's a great location. It's an obvious location for a music festival, and that is always sold out, and all the kids like to go to it. I haven't, but all the young kids like to go to that. If you were planning a music festival, which artists would you invite to perform? Wow. Okay, I really like the Rolling Stones, and I can't believe Mick Jagger is still singing. I think he's 79. And the rest of them, they're no spring chicken. You know, they're not spring chickens. They're old guys. And I can't believe they're still knocking out the music, knocking out the rhythms, and performing at a very, very high level to their devoted fans. It was always a big thing. When I was a kid, a lot of my friends, it was an annual pilgrimage. Are you going to see the Rolling Stones concert this summer? They used to tour the country. There was usually one near you. You could go and see them every year. It was a big thing, but for some reason, I never went. Probably something connected with the cost of the tickets, I guess, and travelling perhaps, but I never actually went to see them. But it is a slight regret, and I would like to see them. The other group that I like, not so well known in the UK, is a group called City and Colour. And I really like this group, and I like one or two of their songs. So I would definitely invite them. What about you? Who would you invite to a concert if you organised it yourself? It's a great question. Perhaps one of you will. Decide to organise a concert. What's the largest event you've ever attended? Largest event I've ever attended. Yes. I think it was probably the funeral of the Queen in London. And there's a bit of a story. I went to London on that day just by coincidence to buy a car, actually, with my daughter. And of course, it was exactly the same day as the funeral of the Queen, and we said, look, let's buy the car quickly and then we'll go and see the funeral of the Queen. Okay, well, we went to London and we bought the car, and the time was running out. We dived into the underground station. We got to some location of the funeral cortege, I think you can call it. There's a special name for cortege, I think, Cortege. The funeral cortege was passing through the streets, and we got out at a suitable underground station and we went up to the street level. It was full of people. All the streets were totally full of people, and apparently we missed it by about 10 minutes. So it was a non-event actually, because we didn't quite make it in time. Well, that's my experience. Obviously, you all have your own experiences. Please share them if you wish in the comments section. Thank you for watching, and if you like this, please let me know and I'll repeat it. Cheers.